This is the MLW Radio Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I am your tour guide, Josh Shernoff, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?
We've got
unless you're exclusive on Patreon, you have no fucking clue what I'm doing right now.
Exactly.
I am the proud owner of a Blue Meanie Wrestle Buddy that I'm holding for exclusively for our folks on patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. I also have one of Josh too.
Yes, I have one of Meanie
but he's
and one myself.
He's in the corner. Yeah, Josh is in the corner drinking a seltzer.
In the corner with a dunce cap on. I know what I did.
Man, my figure on your feed looks less jaundiced than mine. Mine looks.
Yeah, I think it's more of a color, just a color thing on our,
Oh, okay.
our feed here. See.
Mine needs my Wrestle Buddy needs vitamins.
Yeah, here I'll blue you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's not. Here, back it up a little bit.
Yo, fine motherfucker, back that ass up.
Well, anyway, I mean, here's what it looks like on different feeds, and everybody listening to this is like, yeah, we don't care because we can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie, and then you can see it.
What's cool about this is like my pockets are hanging out. Gave me a little treasure trail.
Yeah.
No, this thing's awesome. They got my tattoo, which is like super cool.
They did an amazing job.
These are sturdy too. If you order these, they come with fantastic artwork. Mm-hmm. Hats off to Brother Scatter. Yeah. And we were talking, you could either hang it like long ways, landscape, or portrait.
Yeah.
You know?
So Meanie's gonna do his with him up and down, and I'll do mine with mine up and down.
Yeah, man.
Cool. And then there's a little sticker in here too that looks like
I'm a big
like Krang and his robot from Ninja Turtles, but it's me in Meanie's belly.
Get in my belly.
Yeah. It's honestly so cool. I was so excited when I got the package today.
Dude, yeah, it was in the door today.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Meanie sent me a text saying, "Hey, you got a box." I was like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, opening, and she's like, it's the fucking Wrestle Buddies. That's all.
Yeah,
dude, it's Christmas in July.
Yeah, it's very cool. And again, we will be there for a live signing in person and virtual at the Brothers Gatter Studios and store on August 7th. So go to brothersgatter.com to check that out. That's GADDOR, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. Let's check the label on the thing.
Yeah.
So it's GADDOR. So definitely go check that out. We're so excited about that. And go to their events section, and you'll be able to get your. You'll be able to pre-order your buddy.
And the cool thing is, this is a first of a kind. I mean, the Blue Meanie, and Josh Shernoff, I've never had one of these.
Yeah.
And I'm so fortunate that this is a little bit of validation I'm holding in my hand here. Because when you go through your career, you do a bunch of stuff, and you think of all the times you felt like you were passed over for stuff. Like, okay, I went to WWE, and while I was in WWE, ECW made their figures. Mm-hmm. So I went back to ECW. And then WWE made their line of figures, and I got left out. Yeah. But I did get in the video game, which is cool. But here I am in 2021. We got the Mind of the Meanie 2-pack. We're both in Retromania Wrestling. You're the ring announcer. I'm the wrestler. I'm one of the great wrestlers on there. And then now, thanks to Brothers Gatter, I have my first ever in the history of Blue Meanie, my wrestle buddy. And this is pretty sturdy, man.
It really
this is really
is.
cool. Yeah. I'm so flattered that Brothers Gatter. Like I say this with the Meanie figures, and I'll say it now, and I'll say it with our Patreon. This is an investment. You know, people made an investment in us.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we didn't put money out for these. This was somebody choosing to put their money out to create these to sell of our likeness, and it is so incredibly flattering.
Yeah, we've done something to earn the trust of the folks at Brothers Gatter and Cello Toys, and Retro Soft Studios to say, hey, these guys, we think they can move a couple units for us. So that means a lot. And I think back through my career, and you get your share of haters. Oh, Blue Meanie, you're a jobber. Oh, Blue Meanie, who'd you ever beat? Oh, Blue Meanie, you got beat up by JBL. But here I am, 2021, doing this stuff. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. And we got our Pod Squad. We got our Patreon folks. We got the people who listen for free every Monday, who we love. We got our Patreon folks who watch us do this live, who we love.
And that's the thing. All of these people, Meanie, who support us, all of our Pod Squad, Patreon or not, they're the reason why these companies, you say, they look at it and they say, we think we could move some merchandise here. It's because they're seeing the support that we're getting from everybody else. And honestly, when you look at the action figures, these are all in pre-order still, but you look at the action figures, we talked about this last week, and I think even the week before. Cello Toys in the UK, their lot that they had of our figures completely sold out. They actually even, they opened up some more, and those sold out. JB Toys and Collectibles, they were completely sold out. Ended up having a couple of damaged packaging ones that they said, you know what, hey, we have a few. And then by the time I saw the notification on my Instagram that I was tagged in it, promoting that they had a few, it had been updated to say it was sold out. And then we have ours, which we've kind of hoarded some of them because we want to be able to, sell. But we are over 2/3 of what we have sold out. And of that remaining third, truth be told, we're kind of keeping some of those for ourselves, for, giving to family and friends and whatnot. So we're super limited.
I was taught, when you get action figures, keep some for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had my first run of Figures Toy Company figures in a case that I'm never going to open. If I do, I'll just order another case because who knows, 20 years down the line or whatever, I'm not having kids, but like my nieces and nephews and stuff like that, I could give them to my nieces, my niece's kids. I'm a great uncle, so it'd be like a family heirloom to pass down. Something cool. For my little Meanie museum here. So just it's so cool, and hopefully this is the beginning of something more. I feel good. I feel good about our show. I feel good about our fan base with the show. I feel good about all the stuff we're doing. You're doing a lot of stuff with Fight, and I'm getting a little bit. I'm getting a couple more like signings and bookings and stuff like that. And now the world's opening up.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you'll get,
but it's cool.
And that's the thing, your schedule, is going to blow up as much as I think you're willing to have it, because the world is opening back up. And I remember early on in the show, you talked about how many bookings you had that you had to cancel. Well, all those, they're all coming back now. And then you're gonna be sitting there going, "Oh, well, there's only so many days in a week." But I guess that's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take quality bookings. I've done some virtual signings, which went really well. And while we're talking about it, let me bring it up real quick. We were just talking about this prior to recording, but I will be at the Legends of Hamburg autograph show in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. Let me see, July 24th between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. So if you go to legendsofhamburg.com, I will be there with the Sandman at my table. So it's going to be a good time. Like I said, the bookings are coming in. I'm taking quality bookings. Legends of Hamburg, it's the Hamburg Fieldhouse, the famous building where they filmed, all the old WWF shows where, Piper's Pit, where Piper hits Snuka with the coconut and all that good stuff. So, July 24th between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. at the historic Hamburg Fieldhouse. Come say hello.
And if you don't mind, I just wanted to plug a little something, too. I'm actually going to be on that same day, July 24th. I'll be doing, for Fight TV, a Fight and Focus for the GCW Homecoming event at the Showboat in Atlantic City. So, this is going to
be a great event.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Matt Cardona versus Nick Gage. So, dude, who knows?
Man.
And I just need to find a spot as far away from, so I don't get blood on my suit. That's kind of my, that's my goal.
Swear a poncho.
But yeah. But this is the first wrestling event. I did something ironically at the Showboat for celebrity boxing. I've got a football thing coming up next week, a bunch of different shows. This is the first wrestling event that I'll be doing. So
nice.
I'm hoping that I'm going to see some Pod Squad members maybe even there. And anybody who, if you're listening to this, please come up and say hello. Maybe not while I'm on the air. But we'll be done before bell time.
Cuz you got the creams and sugars. You got the creams and sugar.
But definitely come by and say hello. It'd be awesome to meet any of you in person. I'm not gonna be doing like a signing or anything. I'm just but guess what? Even if I was, there's not gonna be a line. So just come say hello and. But definitely Meanie. I think that's exciting. We were talking like Slichter saying it's in his neck of the woods where you're going to be doing your signing. And like, that's just cool. To me, like, I just get excited hearing about you talking about that. Like the idea of being able to meet, a Pod Squad member in person is just, it's exciting.
I mean, like Biggie said, it was all a dream. Yeah. Just, dude, we started this beginning of the apocalypse, the pandemic, and the whole pandemic was supposed to be 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
year and a half later, here we are in our own home studios, on our own roadcasters, making podcast magic, having fun.
Yeah.
And now that we're actually starting to branch out and satellite out, leave our home planet and go out into orbit and then come back, and do the show and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's really neat. It'd be good to see folks in person. There's something about meeting somebody in person which is, way cooler than, virtual signings are cool. Don't get me wrong, but shake a hand, wave to a baby, hey, or that's. Good stuff like that, man. So here's the beginning of hopefully, some normalcy. Hopefully nobody fucks it up.
I'll drink to that. Crack
please.
this open.
I got me an ugly strawberry cream soda.
Oh my! Yeah. I want that. I got a raspberry Wegmans. So crack this. So on the 4th of July. Calvin Tan came by, he and his wife, and there he is. And I was like, "Hey man, you want a seltzer or anything?" He's like, "Oh, absolutely." And then I went and got it. He's like, "Oh, you don't have any ugly?" He's like, "I thought you were gonna have ugly. I was gonna try it." I was like, "No, man, I don't have any." He was so disappointed. So I think he's gonna be hopping on and ordering some ugly.
Dude, shout out to Ugly. They're not sponsoring us right now, but they did sponsor us. But I believe in the product so much, I went out and just dipped into my own pocket and said, "You know what? I want to buy this." And I bought a case, I bought a couple cases. I bought like $80 worth, and with a coupon or whatever. Yeah,
promo code Meanie. What was the promo code? Meanie.
Meanie.
Do we have a promo code? Ugly Meanie. I think.
Ugly Meanie. Yeah.
I don't know what that gets you. We should really look into that and see what that gets you.
Yeah, but the cool thing is, well, not the cool thing is, like when they came, like there was a couple cans that were like busted open. So I reached out to them. They sent me. They did a make good. So I have enough seltzer for another pandemic. So
that's awesome.
Shout out to Ugly, man. Great stuff. I got Dr. Ugly. We got cherry cola. We got the strawberry cream, and I think we got orange cream. Like we got a couple of those limited edition ones.
I'm gonna have to order tonight.
And then I was downstairs having dinner, and Mrs. Meanie goes, "Oh, they have butterscotch." I went, "Son of a bitch!"
Wow.
Yeah, butterscotch, dude. I love butterscotch. So.
This is they're a great company, and they're sitting back listening to this, going, "This is great. We don't ever have to sponsor them again. They'll just keep buying product and talking about it on the show, and we won't have to give them anything." But you know what? That's how good they are.
We didn't say we're a good businessman.
Yeah. Hey,
like
even failing businesses have businessmen.
Yeah, just like where we went that did higher tiers, and and we're like, if you want to pay a little bit more, yeah.
Hey, how was your 4th of July?
Nice and peaceful until 7:00, and everybody starts shooting off fireworks. So, no, it was cool. The 3rd, we went over to Donnie and Bev's and hung out. The usual hangout, and had a couple adult cocktails, and then like I said, I don't drink or drive, so we just crashed there. And then the next day we came home and did some grilling, and it was awesome. Just nice and easy. A lot of people go down the shore and stuff like that, and which is good for me because that just opens up parking on my street. So it's just like, all right, You go down the shore to get drunk. I'll stay in Philly and get drunk, and I'll have a parking spot.
Yep.
And more money in my pocket because I didn't have to pay a toll or pay for a hotel or a shore house or whatever they do nowadays down the shore. I don't know anymore.
Crazy kids.
Those crazy kids. But it was a really good 4th. It brought me back to remember that 16 years ago on the 4th, it was my big match on SmackDown versus JBL, where I got like the first major win of my career. Just beating a former world champion. So, and we all know what went into that match and all that stuff. But it keeps coming up, and people keep sharing it with me and reminding me, and that feels good. To kind of be the underdog who. I felt like the end of the movie, Revenge of the Nerds, when they're standing around the campfire singing "We Are the Champions," So it's just it was a good feeling.
It's when you really look at all of it, as you look at your whole career to that point. If you look at it as like a movie, as like a story, it really. I mean, look, I'm sure you could have gone without having that JBL situation, but without that, without him doing what he did and that happening at One Night Stand, that match on SmackDown doesn't happen. Like it just doesn't, right? Like,
and like I've said, it was a shitty situation, but I was in a shitty situation before that, and the folks rallying around me after what happened at One Night Stand, kind of just there was something good came out of something bad.
Yeah,
And
that's a huge lesson for people like to look at that, because at One Night Stand in that moment, that would have been tough to just say to you like, "No, Meanie, this is a good thing. This is gonna work out really well for you." You'd have been like, "No, this fucking sucks," right?
Yeah. That night I'm walking because I drove up with John Finnegan, Jim Molyneux, and Francine, I think Bob and Lex Ortiz. and I was just banged up. And we're walking to the car, and I run into Paul Heyman, that Paul. I go, hey man, sorry I ruined the event. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, what did you? He's like, dude, just think of this. He gave you his best shot, and he couldn't knock you out. I was like, oh, well, there's that. But like we're driving home, and Finnegan and Malino, they wanted to drive me directly to a hospital, stuff like that. So I was like, oh. But like I said, something bad happened. Some good came out of it. And like you said, you think of all the movies where something bad happens, and then, there's that one redeeming moment, And right after the 3 count happens in the JBL match, they could have slowed it down, showed the crowd, showed my reaction, and then after this match, Blue Meanie and blah, 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 all that stuff like the text they put over at the end of the movie, and then they lived all happily ever after and stuff like that. Kind of like the movie Invincible, Yeah. Vince Papale, he didn't have he went from being a fan to playing for the Philadelphia Eagles and had the one big play and, wound up having a little bit of a career, and now he's like all over Philly as a spokesman and stuff like that, a motivational speaker. Yep. And they made the movie Invincible about that career. So yeah, like if I was to ever have a movie, it'd kind of be like the movie Invincible. Yeah. Except I don't have abs like Mark Wahlberg or anything like that.
They're under there.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's all I say. I have a 6-pack under this fat. You
some people have a 6-pack. I have a party ball. So or a quarter keg.
So Vanessa Bello, Patreon member, says, if that never happened, I wouldn't have read about it on PWI and subsequently linked to Meanie on MySpace 16 years ago. So
thank God for MySpace.
Man, I say that every day.
I was so witty that I once had a custom shirt made that said, I'm on MySpace. Which, yeah. But then thinking back to it, I was like, oh yeah, real fucking witty Bri. Oh, so man. Funny. You're so funny.
Hey,
I'm sure that aged well.
So I wanted to talk to you about kind of like one of the headlines this week. It's been all about Terry Funk, and and you posted a really nice message to him. But I know you're an avid listener of Busted Open. And Tommy Dreamer was on there and kind of, he had tweeted something, but then he kind of went into more detail. Did you get a chance to hear that?
No, but I will.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy, to give you basically a heads up, I mean, you understand most of what happened, but he spoke to Terry Funk, and Terry Funk, everybody go find them on Twitter, Busted Open, because they have a clip of it. Pretty much, Terry Funk's trying to figure out how to turn this into an angle. And he wants to involve Roman Reigns, who I believe he referred to as Sika's kid. So like, it's great.
Yeah.
But something, my first thought was, oh man, this is kind of weird. Everybody gave like this heartfelt stuff. And then it turns out, no, he's actually doing all right. He's kind of just in this place because his kids were worried about him being alone, 77 years old. And it totally makes sense. But then I thought about it, and I thought, there's that saying, give them their flowers now, right? Like,
right.
And I looked at it, and I thought, you could look at that and say, like, oh, everybody made a big deal out of nothing, but how cool is it that everybody got to say all these things to Terry Funk while he's here, and while he is actually well and reading these and knowing this stuff? I mean, that matters so much more than once he's gone, people posting nice stuff on social media. Not that that's a bad thing, of course post nice things about people after they've passed, but man, to just kind of give a guy like Terry Funk the due that he deserves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. But yeah, just wanted to, let you kind of go elaborate on that and say some nice things about Terry Funk.
Well, yeah, dude, it's just like, you read that, they say he's in a nursing home. And, they were saying he has early dementia. So who knows if that's true or not. I guess apparently Don Morocco's talked about it on his podcast. And I saw some idiot go, "Oh, Don Morocco's in Hawaii. So let me get this. Don Morocco in Hawaii knows what's happened to Terry Funk in Texas," which, yeah. It's 2021. That's like saying the guy in the TV studio at CNN doesn't know what's going on in Texas because he's not there. No, there's people there who telling you what's going on, sir.
We have people in other countries watching us live right now.
I don't know, man. That's so sketchy. It's like, fuck you. But yeah, I read that, and then I did my little post, and like you said, give them their flowers while they're alive. Celebrate people while they're alive. And so, I posted what I love Terry. I went to ECW. I was only in the business a year and a half. I was this green kid. I was young and green, and you wouldn't have known it by the way he treated me. Like I said, I was sitting my first couple months in ECW. Terry was sitting there and said something to Dreamer. Dreamer comes over to me and takes me by the hand and brings me over to Terry Funk. He's like, "Hey, Blue Meanie, I love it, Blue Meanie. You should go out and get a blue car. Go down to the junkyard, buy a blue car, and you pull up the arena, and on the blue car, on the side of the car, it says it's got BM for Blue Meanie. People are like, oh, look at that BM car," or something like that. And he's just riffing all these ideas for me off the top of his head. I'm like, this is Terry fucking Funk, right? And I was like, oh, well, thank you. You're being respectful. And I'm at that age where, you don't want to say the wrong thing.
Sure.
There's magical moments happening. It's like when you're in a date with a girlfriend for the first time. You're trying not to say that thing to make her go, I think I want to go home early. You don't want to ruin the moment. So Terry Funk's, pitching me these ideas about buying a junky car and pulling up the building, and I love it, Blue Meanie. So, and I'm only in the business, like I said, I'm in the business a year and a half. So that meant the world to me. And then, throughout the rest of my career, Terry was always great to me. His wife, Vicky, was always great to me. His wife, Vicky, was such a sweetheart. And then, you always hear, you hear things, he's in a nursing home. You hear they say early dementia, whether that's true or not. But then you start worrying because you care about Terry Funk. You love Terry Funk. And you start thinking about all these other folks, Johnny Cash, his wife passed away. And then not too much longer after that, he left, he left the planet too. And it's like anytime like there's an older couple and the one loved one passes away, it always seems like the other spouse passes away out of just longing to be with their loved one,
Broken heart.
And that's what that's kind of what got me worried. I knew Vicky had passed away a few years ago, and like I said, she was so cool, so nice to me. Hi, Blue Meanie. And then, Terry was always cool to me. And when I heard that, I was like, I got to, celebrate him. Why not? And then our people are like, oh, are you trying to tell me something? I'm like, no, I'm just giving the man some praise. So people are fucking weird.
Wait, I don't understand. What were they thinking?
Like on Instagram, I kept posting these photos of me with Terry Funk, hashtag thank you Terry Funk. One guy's like, oh, do you know something we don't? Are you trying to tell us something? Rest in peace. It's like, no, I'm not saying he's dead. I'm just saying I'm just being grateful. Mm-hmm. So it's just, dude, the last couple of days, people have just been weird. I don't know if it's the heat.
Last couple of days.
Or what. Dude.
Decades? Even, but dude, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah. No. Your point's very valid as well. But, just, I don't know what it is. And, like, not to get off Terry Funk here, but, like, we went to a store the other day, and the cashier was like, man, people are just strange. Like, people are just acting strange. I don't know what's the heat or
do you think,
whatever it is.
The heat can always do that, but do you think it's people just like, think about it, we've all kind of been in confinement for a year and a half, and everybody's getting back out, and they're like, you know, it's one thing you've got your bubble and you've got your friends that you socialize with, but now here you are in the real world having to interact with people that you don't necessarily know after a year and a half of being told, do not go near anyone, keep your distance, you know, and rightfully so. That I supported that completely, but maybe that's what people are just, you know, like the social ineptitudes are coming out of people who otherwise wouldn't have that, you know?
Dude, it's amazing. I'll post something on social media and somebody will reply with something that has like totally nothing to do with what I just said. It's just like so bizarre. Yeah. But like I said, I was giving praise to Terry Funk and people took it the wrong way. And then, you know, to calm people down, I did a screenshot of Dreamer's post about Terry and, sorry.
Oh.
Ooh, fuck. And then, just like tell people to calm the fuck down. You know, it's just, I'm just praising the guy. So Terry Funk, man, he has done so much for the wrestling business. He's done so much for the business as a whole, and then for wrestlers as individuals. He validated ECW. He made ECW legit in the eyes of people. You know, and other wrestlers who went, well, shit, I wasn't going to go there, but if Terry Funk's having a good time there, look at everything Terry Funk's doing.
Yeah.
You know, other people were more open to go work for ECW, which made us look more legit in the eyes of the casual wrestling fan. So, you know, and he did everything for Dreamer. He did everything for us for pay-per-view and stuff like that. And, I mean, that's why we had that show and gave him a lifetime ECW championship, you know, at the Terry Funk WrestleFest. So, you know, I need to reach out to him. I got his number. So, you know, I'm sure he's not looking at my fucking Instagram, or Twitter or Facebook,
or knows what an Instagram is, or
What the fuck is a Facebook? You pig. That's my favorite Terry Funk. Terry Funk would always go off on Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty Rhodes is like, "What did I do to this man?" You know. But yeah, just I love you, Terry Funk. Terry Funk was punk rock, man. He was. There's a lot of correlation between guys like Terry Funk, Willie Nelson, and George Carlin, where when they first started out, they were clean cut, they had the hair slicked back, they were wearing suits, and then somewhere along the line, they went counterculture. Yeah. Terry Funk kind of became middle-aged and crazy. Willie Nelson started growing the pigtails and smoking pot. George Carlin grew his hair out, grew a beard, and started questioning authority. And that's why I think it has endeared people to all three of those folks. You know, Terry Funk, George Carlin, Willie Nelson, is that, you know, they went from being what everybody they thought they should be to who they really are. And I think in a lot of ways, people long to be the person they really are and, you know, don't want to be that person that everybody expects them to be. So, and, you know, Terry Funk's the prime example of that. You know, he was punk rock, man. He was punk rock. He counterculture. He made his own rules. One of the last outlaws. You know, I think of outlaws. I think of Terry Funk. I think of Bruiser Brody. You know, there's New Jack, Sabu. There's outlaws. The kind of guys who kind of did things on their own terms and said fuck it. This is me, warts and all. If you don't like it, fuck it and fuck you. You know. Yep. So,
if you like, I mean, we could talk about Terry Funk all day.
Absolutely.
We already have, as a matter of fact, with Joel Gertner. So if you want to hear more about Terry Funk and specifically his career in ECW, we actually did an episode over at adfreeshows.com, and it's free to listen. Go to adfreeshows.com and check out That Was Extreme with myself, Meanie, and Joel Gertner. We talked all about Terry Funk, and I felt like we really did him justice on that, and which is nice.
What's cool? Yeah, what's cool about that? That was extreme. We got to pay respect to him, and we did one for New Jack, to which New Jack, since we're on the topic, New Jack's wife reached out and said she really enjoyed our episode.
Oh wow!
Dedicated to him. She said it really meant a lot to her and the kids.
Wow, so, that means a lot to me to hear that.
I've been keeping in touch. It's tough, and just trying to give ideas, give thought, give ideas with a good intentions, because
sure.
Somebody passes away, and then all the people come out of the woodwork.
You have your well-intentioned and your not so well-intentioned, but even the well-intentioned sometimes can be a little much in those instances.
Yeah, there's always this thing of you got to help somebody, do this, that, and the other thing. The only thing I did was reach out and say, hey, Collar and Elbow wants to help raise money, and you want to do a shirt? This is the shirt. And she said, okay, cool, thank you. And then she did the Pro Wrestling Tee Shop. So, but when she reached out and said, hey, I really appreciated the episode you did to Jerome, New Jack. That meant a lot. And, hopefully somehow, some way, Terry Funk can hear the episode we did for him. But, yeah, I really need to get in touch with him. And instead of praising him and, in places he probably doesn't even know exist, just give him a good old-fashioned phone call. Because for me to call somebody, I really want to talk to him and not text him. I'm a texter. If you call me, I'm like, what the fuck did I do wrong? Wait, what do you call me for?
We have to have a serious talk now. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I pick up the phone and I'm fucking flinching. But yeah, God bless Terry Funk. I love him, man. I love him.
I know it's kind of early in the show, but you want to do an Ask Meanie? We got a bunch of questions came in. Kind of have some fun.
I would love to. Yeah. As I drink my second ugly drink, which is Dr. Ugly.
Oh man, I'm officially jealous with this.
This tastes like Dr. Pepper, dude. Man. This is fucking great.
And that's what Calvin was asking me. He's like, well, what does it, what does it taste like? And I said, it depends. Like my wife definitely thought it was good, like without question. Like she could appreciate it. But she's always really liked seltzer. So to her, it almost was too sweet because she likes the seltzer where it's much more, carbonated water with a tiny bit of flavor in there. But for someone like me who just always loved soda, like this is perfect because it doesn't have that weight of soda, it feels healthy, but it's got so much more flavor than you would get in just your like regular seltzers, Yeah,
I don't feel like I need to squeegee my fucking teeth after I drink it.
Right.
Soda, It's just like,
Yeah. But hey, enough about that because they're not paying us.
Again, not a good business, man.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, Ugly, you want us to say nice things about you? Just keep putting out a good product and we'll buy it and we'll keep telling people.
Hey, Ugly, you want to shave my balls like Manscaped?
Because you can use the promo code Meanie20. And they're not even sponsoring this week. They're sponsoring next week. So, bonus.
So, use the promo code.
Yeah, you sponsor us. To me, you're supporting us, and we're here to support you.
Yeah.
Can you see this black and blue mark on my bicep?
I was wondering what the fuck that was.
Were you really? Legitimately?
I thought it was like a shadow. Because I was looking at my own color,
I know. I just noticed it on there. This is from my 1-year-old son. Grabbed a hold of my, like, not the whole thing, grabbed like a deep pinch of the bicep. Like the bicep is called a bicep because there's technically two parts of that muscle. And it felt like he straight up grabbed one of them and just, it hurt so bad. And the next day I woke up with a freaking black and blue mark. I'm like, this kid is 1 year old and he's kicking my ass. So I just wanted to, I saw it on the thing. I'm like, this is like, man, that's really showing up on camera there.
Yeah.
From his tiny little fingers. Anyway.
Baby fingernails. Baby fingernails are sharp as shit.
Yeah, it wasn't even the fingernails. It was the grip. The strength of it's insane. It is insane. Yeah. For as weak as the rest of a 1 year old's body is, their grip is, I feel like their grip gets weaker as they get older. Like, I don't have a grip that strong. But with that, let's ask Meanie anything.
It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
All right, Meanie. Anthony Camarada writes, if WWE were to make a reality show like Legends House, but with ECW stars, with you and 7 other wrestlers, who would you like to join you?
Oh my God, it would have to be me, Hal Snow, because they easily could have done one of those Tough Enough or Legends House. Not even. Just like one of those reality Big Brother shows at Al's school when I went there. There's so many stories that I don't even know if I can repeat, but it would have been great TV. Al Snow, Sabu. You would have to need somebody in there a little straight laced for the reaction stuff. So you'd have to get Lance Storm. Mm-hmm. Because he would be our Tony Randall, if like the Odd Couple, one guy's the slob and he's like Mr. Oh heavens. So who'd I say? Me, Al Snow, Sabu,
Lance Storm.
Four
more here.
4 more. Oh, I would have to get like Brian Lee because he's fucking hysterical. You have to get Raven because he would just like pick apart everything everybody said and just why'd you say it that way? You could have said it this way and motherfucker, and somebody storms out the room. Back in the day, Raven's different. Raven now. How many is that? 5?
Yeah, you got 2 more.
Fuck, get Terry Funk in there. And goddamn, just watch him walk off into the brushes,
Step
and
into
do whatever.
Pothole.
Yeah, do the Terry Funk death march, around the house.
And 1 more.
Oh, who would be good TV? We'd probably have to get Joey Styles, right? Because Legends House had Mean Gene.
Yeah.
You would have to have Joey Styles to kind of be the voice of reason amongst everything. Joey Styles and Lance Storm would kind of be the straight-laced guys, the voices of reason amongst all the crazy. Oh, you know what? Take Brian Lee off that and put in Balls Mahoney.
Oh, God.
Mahoney, like I if you've ever spent a weekend with Balls Mahoney, you would go, yes, Balls Mahoney, of course. Mahoney, put your clothes on. Just Captain Caveman, Balls Mahoney. Dude, I killed a great white with a spork. Sure you did. Sure you did, John.
Oh, man.
That story's so legendary that when they put the Showdown to Shea Stadium show, when it was like back in the day when it was WWE 24/7 and Michael Cole and Mick Foley were doing the commentary, Pretty Boy Larry Sharp was having his match, and they're like, Larry Sharp of the world famous Monster Factory, trained this guy, that guy, trained Balls Mahoney, and then Michael Cole brought up the story about how Balls Mahoney killed a great white shark with a spork. So it's one of those great stories.
That's amazing.
It's out there. If anybody runs into Danny Doring, have him tell the story. He's the best one to tell him that story.
That's awesome. That was a great question. Here's another one from Mark in Dryden. Who were the biggest over and underachievers in ECW? Well, that was a fun question. So we'll start with the biggest overachiever.
Overachiever. Huh. That's a good question. That would be like somebody who nobody... you would have to say Mikey Whipwreck, right?
I think you'd have to.
And that's not a knock. It's just because he was he was a legit underdog. He was ring crew. He really wasn't properly trained. Him and his friends would roll around the ring before the show, and Paul noticed something. And then he goes from being part of ring crew, being like a kind of a backyarder. Like he was doing backyard stuff before, and then ring crew, and then he gets in ECW. All of a sudden, he's working guys with Malenko, Benoit, and stuff like that. And then he wins the world title. Then he, defends the title against Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
He goes on to have this great career. Yeah. And then most recently, he was in one of the most recent WWE 2K games as for Mick Foley's story. So, yeah, he definitely overachieved, but it was through hard work too.
Sure.
Underachieved, man. That almost. Who underachieved?
I guess Brackus.
Yeah.
No, somebody who's someone in ECW that was just kind of like everybody looked at okay, this guy's going to be something. He's our next big star. He's our next something, and just didn't work.
I feel bad saying that there's this kid named Kareem who kind of looked like one of the headhunters.
Okay.
Good dude. He was training with I think he trained a little bit at the House of Hardcore. And he was coming in, and they were going to do big things with him. And he was this big kid. He looked like he could have been the third headhunter without the makeup.
Okay.
And I remember this. I forgot who was all in the ring, but Sandman. It was Shane Douglas, Sandman, maybe Raven. Why we were out there, and me and Nova got caned, and we're selling in the corner. And this kid Kareem, I forget what they were going to call him. Kareem's his real name. He was going to come off the top rope onto either Shane or Sandman. That's my computer. I don't know if that bled through.
I heard it. I don't know if it's...
Yeah.
It's all right.
Kayfabe. It's one of those things I should have just dinged when I first fucking signed on, but...
Oh, like an update or something like that?
Yeah, that should have been 2 hours ago.
I can't tell you how many times I've hit just the try me later tonight, and I'm meanwhile thinking to myself, my computer's not going to be on later tonight. I'm not going to be here.
Yeah. I lied. Yeah. So me and Nova are Singapore Kane. We're laying in the corner. It's Kid Cream. He's going to make his big debut at the ECW arena, and he's going to come off the top rope on either Shane or Sandman. He loses his balance, falls off the top rope, and snaps his leg straight in half.
Oh, shit.
3 feet from my face. I'm laying there on the mat, and I see I heard his leg snap, crack. And Sandman had he's laying there writhing in pain, leg snapped in half, and Sandman just Singapore Canes the shit out of the poor guy, just
Jesus.
But he was supposed to be like this big. They were going to do this big thing with him, and it was going to be, I don't know what their plans were, but they had big plans if he was debuting against Sandman, Shane, Raven, all this stuff. So holy shit! And then he broke his leg, and then he continued to wrestle. He didn't come back to ECW. He continued to wrestle. He ran shows and stuff like that, but. Yeah, a guy who's going to debut like that and botches it, his first time, which really wasn't his fault, but That's just unfortunately how wrestling can be cruel sometimes.
Yeah, no, just fate in general.
Yeah, it's out there on tape somewhere. It was on TV for it was like Jesus.
Here's a fun one from Pablo. Whatever happened to 3PW? Also, do you have any good memories of Frank Talent? I felt like when I read this was posted 6 days ago, but it seems so familiar. I was like, I feel like we talked about this before.
Yeah.
But maybe we didn't. I know you've got to have some I have good Frank Talent stories. You've got to have some good Frank Talent stories.
Dude, 3PW was, me, Todd Gordon, one other person who I don't talk about.
Yeah, they asked in the question, do you still talk to that person? I figured we'd just... I think it's well established, no.
Yeah. Yeah, no thanks. It was fun. It could have lasted longer if, somebody didn't make enemies and, stuff like that. But Frank Talent stories, oh my God. Well, Frank was a good dude, man. Frank Talent would always, he would bring, kids to the show and have them sit up in the Eagles Nest and watch wrestling and stuff like that. Kids from, youth leagues or rec centers or whatever, kids who couldn't more than likely afford to come to a show on their own. He would, bring them out and stuff like that. And, I know kids to this day who come up and, praise Frank Talent. But Frank was a character, man. He tried to flex his muscle every now and then. There was a 3PW show. I forget what the date was. He's like, "All right, now you gotta go out there and we need padding around the ring." I was like, "Well, Frank, you're coming to us the day of the an hour before the show,
right,
telling us we need ring mats around the ring. You couldn't have told us this a month ago." Well, tonight you're going to have I was like, and we tried to locate these mats, and it was it's like, Frank, please, this is embarrassing. Frank is good if you, like everybody else, if you approach him the right way. He was trying to flex his muscle. He's the commissioner. I want pads around the ring. But, I used logic with him. I was like, look, these pads we have around, it was extra padding from underneath that's supposed to go underneath the ring or whatever, but they just happened to have it on the ring truck. I was like, well, God forbid, Frank, somebody, falls out of the ring and they go to land on that, it slides from underneath them and they break their leg, and it's on the commission and you ordered that to be out there. Good idea. Let's take those mats up, It's just great. Frank Talent, man. He was a fixture in the wrestling scene. If you watch some of the old Spectrum wrestlings, they let him ring announce every now and then. But you think of Frank Talent, you think of the big bow tie, the glasses. He was such a throwback. He looked like he could have been an old-timey boxing announcer back in the day, This fight brought to you by Budweiser, kind of thing. And if you've never seen Frank Talent, go and watch the ECW documentary Bob Bar City, which he's in it for a second, talking about ECW and stuff like that. But yeah, Frank was a great guy. He was cool to me. He was a local judge for a shoot job. He was a judge for a shoot job. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a real life judge, and he did the commission. That was his side hustle, I guess.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, he was a judge. So, thank God I didn't need any help. Hey, Frank, can you help me out here? But nah, he was a good dude, man. He always looked out for folks. He looked out for me. He was always good to me, But, yeah.
Another question here.
Yes, brother.
Let's see what this is. I didn't read it ahead of time, so let's see. From Chris Cookie Alcock. I once witnessed you. Okay, here we are. I once witnessed you simulate head with head on Al Snow in a bid to wake him up. In a bit, I guess, to wake him up following a beatdown by Tracy Smothers. My question, did Al express any gratitude? A lady should always be thanked. All right. So
I have no recollection.
So you... Okay, so I think you used head to perform fellatio, we'll say, simulated fellatio on Al Snow to resurrect him, if you will, after a beatdown by Tracy Smothers. This doesn't ring a bell to you?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
No. It's not like there was a year, a show, a city.
Yeah. Cookie Alcock, you're going to need to help us out with, let us know when this was and where this was. And is there footage of this?
Or don't, because I don't remember it. So,
yeah, I mean, well, you know what? We could bring Al on. He's in the green room waiting for us.
Yeah.
Let me get a couple more questions and then we'll bring him on.
Yeah, that's a great point. We'll bring Al on in a second.
Yeah. Let's get through some of these other ones though first.
Yeah.
This is a fun one. What are the Blue Meanie's memories? This is from Chris at ChrisWD2009. What are the Blue Meanie's memories of working for the British promotion One Pro Wrestling? And has Josh ever wrestled in the UK? Well, I can answer mine quickly. No. Would have been awesome, but no.
Yeah.
But you, what are your memories working with One Pro Wrestling?
One Pro Wrestling, or else referred to as 1PW. Which I laughed when a promotion called 1PW approached the guy who was running shows as 3PW. It's like,
And this is a step down for you. I mean, this is 2 less P's.
Yeah, right.
It's even worth your time.
They leapfrogged us in the alphabetizing. Because you're like, oh, why are you 3PW? When they have to list all the promotions by name, the numbers go first.
Yep.
So, 1PW was great. They had a good run. The first couple shows, I did like the first maybe year or two. I don't know if I did it. I can't recall if I did every show, but I did like every other show and stuff like that. But it was great. Because before that, I only been over to England, for the one post WrestleMania 15 tour. So to go back to England, and just get to enjoy it. Not that I didn't enjoy the WWE one, but like when you're on the road with WWE, it's blinders on, full force ahead. This time, I could go over there, take a breath, hang out. I have friends over there. I have a friend Gabby over there, who I had never met. So I got to meet friends I hadn't met in person before. So it was a good atmosphere, and I love the UK because they are just as passionate as, or even more so. I would say they remind me of South Philly fans. You go over to those UK shows and they do chants, and you're just like, how does that work into it? How did they work that into a chant? Stuff like that. So like, you're driving through England and you're like, man, all these little towns, that's kind of like South Philly, the mom and pop shops and stuff like that. But, it's a good time. I got to go over there. And again, this is like post JBL, post WWE, post One Night Stand. So I was kind of making my comeback, having my retribution tour, so to speak. And to go over to England and get the reaction we got, and then, get to work with guys like work with Tracy Smothers and stuff like that. It's a great time. I got to go over there for a couple of years, and then they had, I want to say the last show I did for them was 2009, and unfortunately, this is like right around the time Harry Callis passed away, and they were having the public memorial for him at the ballpark here in Philly, the Citizens Bank Park. And if I wasn't booked for 1PW, I definitely would have been there. So I'm flying to England on the day that they're doing a memorial for Harry Callis at the ballpark. So I'm on my layover in Paris, France, and I sat there and, as my little tribute to Harry Callis, played the final out call from the 2008 World Series in Paris, France. Wow. For Harry Callis. Whether it meant anything to anybody, it meant something to me because I couldn't be there to go and pay respects to Harry Callis at Citizens Bank Park. But, I paid my own little tribute to him, traveling over there, wearing my Phillies jersey with my Harry Callis patch and playing the final out call from the 2008 World Series. So, but, I went over there again, 2009. They tried to do like this ECW reunion show or ECW tribute show, and they had like me, Nova, Jerry Lynn, and a couple other ECW guys, and they had like us facing their local town, which is great. But like they had it's supposed to be like a Back to the Extreme show with a tribute to ECW, and all the ECW guys jobbed out. I was like, all right, yeah, cool.
Oh man.
If this is a tribute, I hate to see your burial. But yeah, 1PW was good. It was a good run while it lasted. And every now and then I get like a message, hey, I'm thinking about doing a reunion show. I'm like, all right.
Last question here.
Yes.
Mark and Dryden, we got another one from him.
What up, dude?
Do you guys think when WWE goes back to fans in arenas that it will really make that much of a difference, as in better ratings, storylines, etc.? P.S. Could I get a birthday shout out since my birthday was July the 8th? Thanks. Well, as we're recording this, it's July 7th, so our birthday shout out is actually early.
Hey.
Happy birthday, Mark and Dryden, at Mark Matsuo.
Happy birthday, Mark. Hope your day is an awesome one. Yeah. And thanks for your support.
Absolutely.
And your questions. And
he always has the best questions, too.
Dude, I love the questions that make me think.
Yes.
And our pod squad's pretty good for that. So
so this one, Meanie, what do you think? When WWE goes back to fans in arenas, which is going to be within the next week or so, right? Do you think it'll make much of a difference, as in better ratings, storylines, etc.?
I think it'll be a better barometer of what's been successful. There's the one thing you miss about having fans in the crowd is the instant feedback. I hear guys who have wrestled during this pandemic, and they're like, "Man, am I selling too long? Am I selling not enough?" It's hard to gauge. And if you get that instant feedback of something's good or bad, you're going to get it now. And, you're going to be in front of fans and, paying fans. That's the big thing. These people are paying money to go to your show. And if it's not good, you're going to know. Crowd reaction, there's no substitute for it. The instant feedback, and stuff like that. Drawing emotion off of fans. Wrestlers always say, we control the fans, they don't control us, but you kind of listen to them and gauge what you're going to do next based off how the fans are reacting, whether something is working or not working. For the last year and a half, minus, WrestleMania, which actually had fans, you're actually going to get like a true reaction and true feedback. And hopefully they listen to the fans, especially if, you would think, your fans are going to be able to attend a live wrestling event. You figure the house would be, packed. These people have been cooped up in their house. They've been wanting to go to a live event, and watch live wrestling. You would think every show would be sold out. So, just the fact that, okay, here's your chance.
Yeah.
That, you always gauge whether you're doing good by ticket sales and ratings and stuff like that. But it can, Or I don't know. Who knows if they're just happy with the money they have right now through all these deals they've brokered and stuff like that. So, they like the saying, a fed dog doesn't hunt. Right now they're eating pretty good between the Peacock deal and the Fox deal and stuff like that. So we'll see. It's all, we're entering a world of unknown right now because we don't know how the fans are going to react. The fans could come out and just react to anything, and it could be perceived as being awesome because the fans are reacting because they're just so happy to be out of the house and seeing live wrestling again. But I don't think we'll know it truly until maybe 2 months and 3 months in, once the honeymoon's over, and the fans are like, okay, let's try to get back to this. Let's try and make sense of all this stuff. So so we'll see. Right off the bat, you're not going to see immediate results because people are just going to be happy to be out of their house.
Sure.
But eventually, like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down the road, people are going to, paying customers who are, are getting used to leaving the house. That'll be the true test.
You talked about it being a barometer of what's been working and what hasn't been working. And I think, the internet wrestling community is such a small piece of the puzzle of what makes up the fans and the people watching. But we've seen the ratings kind of take a dip, and, the storylines have been, everyone has different opinions. In my opinion, they have not been good. I also think they've been stalled for, look, they haven't been good for a very long time, but I think that they've been stalled out. This past Monday's Raw, just, I watched 30 seconds. It was terrible, but I think that in a lot of ways they were just kind of treading water because, anything big, anything like Zelina Vega came back. Not on Raw. That was on, yes, on Raw. Nah, I don't even remember, but let's say on Raw. Zelina Vega came back, and my thought was, why did you do that? Because I think treading water was the way to do it. If she's coming back, let her be a mystery, being in the Money in the Bank match, and have her make her return to the company in front of the live crowd as a surprise. Right. And it's little things like that. Like, I'm not entirely sure if maybe they thought, okay, we need to bring her back because that's going to drive more people to Peacock. I don't know what their thought process is, and I'm not going to pretend to know what their thought process is. But to me, the uneducated fan, I look at that and say, what? Like, you have a moment. Why did you just give up that moment in front of nobody?
Yeah.
Because
yeah. I mean, just because, and like we were saying, we don't know if they're just holding off on the good stuff.
Yeah.
For when save some for the honeymoon, pal. Yep. Save some for when the fans are back. Maybe that's been the conspiracy theory. But why would you give up all these people are showing up in AEW? Why couldn't you just sign them and have them wait around, and then first moment in front of fans, you would have instant fan reactions you could show for years on down the line. Why are you giving it away when there's nobody there?
Yeah, and I just feel like
Christian Cage. Imagine if he showed up in front of fans.
Yep.
Which he kind of did, but it wasn't like a full.
It wasn't the same.
House.
No, it wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same. But yeah.
No, I just think WWE. You only get so many first impressions, and they have an opportunity to make a hell of a first impression post Thunderdome. They have this opportunity to just roll with it, just get but I don't know. And I think you're right, Meanie. I think 2 to 3 months, because I think you're going to have people who right off the bat, they're excited to be there live, so they're cheering things that 2 to 3 months from now, they're going to just be like, oh, wait, no, this actually sucks. And then I think fans watching at home, there's going to be a little bit of time where, like for me, I watch it for 30 seconds. Like I can't watch this. But there's going to be at least a few weeks where I'm going to be tricking myself because there's a crowd. I'm going to go, God, this is so much better. And then you're going to stop and go, but is it? So,
right.
That's where we are. So I agree with you on that completely. And Mark, happy birthday again. Thank you for all your support. Yeah, Meanie. Look, hey, that was some great Ask Meanie. Now next week.
They always are.
Next week, we have good news and we have bad news. The good news is we are going to do a full episode of Ask Meanie. It's going to be a lot of fun. The bad news is I don't think Joel Gertner is going to be there for episode 69. But
we'll have Al Snow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know what? Maybe we should just save him. We'll save him for next time. Why don't we do that?
Yeah, that's a good. Sorry, Al.
Yeah,
but,
I'm sorry because we're running out of time, Al. We need to plug some stuff. But he gets it. He gets it.
Yeah, he's a businessman. Collar and elbow.
Yeah.
Promo code Meanie.
Yeah, absolutely. Great T-shirts over there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I need to get some.
Hey, you know where else they have great T-shirts?
Where's that?
ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Some tremendous shirts over there. Dare I say, Slichter originals. And they're just great. We have so much great stuff. And a lot was sold during the 4th of July sale. But the good news is Pro Wrestling Tees is print on demand. So we can't sell out. So the shirts are all still there for you. So definitely go check that out. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. If you want to support the Blue Meanie individually, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie for all your BWO and Blue Meanie merchandise there. Some great things. The newest, if I'm correct, is the Meester shirt.
Yeah, the Meester shirt, which was inspired by Meanie Easter. I was pronounced dead, but I'm back, motherfucker. So get to yourself. Every time I sell one, I crack up. So go over to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie and get yourself a Meester shirt. Get yourself a BWO shirt.
Yeah, we talked about giving somebody their flowers, before they're gone. This is a great opportunity to give Meanie his flowers after he's gone, but has returned. So definitely go and check that out. And then if you feel inclined, don't be shy. Head on over to ProWrestlingTees.com/So Says Shernoff. I got some fun shirts over there. But yeah, we also have, there's Cameo, cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO, cameo.com/So Says Shernoff. Check us out on there. Go to mindofthemeanie.com. That is your one-stop shop for everything. You're going to have links for our action figures, the 2-pack there. You'll have links to the Brothers Gatter event on August 7th. It's right there under events on mindofthemeanie.com. So go there. That's all the information that you need because you're not going to remember it if I say it now. I don't even remember it enough to say it. So make sure that you go and check out mindofthemeanie.com. We have links to everything. We have links to the Pro Wrestling Tees page. We have links to the figures. We have links to the buddies. You can even listen to the podcast there. So that's kind of fun.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so it's very cool. So definitely check that out. I'm also, if I can give a quick little plug, I've got So Says Shernoff, a podcast of my own. Now, it's not the same kind of thing as the Mind of the Meanie podcast. For instance, Meanie's not there, but it is pretty cool. We've got a bunch of all summer long. I'm doing just interview archives. So every week is a new old interview that I conducted. Some of them as recent as last month, like my one with Double J Jeff Jarrett. That is, I think, the most recent as you're hearing this. And then I've got all these old ones that I had done before from previous Fight and Focus shows. And I even put up, for as we're recording this on July 7th, is the 25-year anniversary of the NWO. And I even put up a I think it's like a minute and 40 seconds long, but it's a clip of Hulk Hogan answering the question of, did he mean to say New World Order and New World Organization in that first promo at Bash at the Beach? I asked him that in an interview back when I was doing the After Chat podcast. And so I put that little clip up there. So go subscribe if you'd be so kind. But while you're in a subscribing mood, go to youtube.com/mindofthemeanie. Subscribe to that. There's definitely going to be, we're either going to go live or we're going to have some sort of vlog up there having to do with our trip to Port Henry, New York on August 7th. So subscribe now. Hit that little bell so you'll be notified as soon as there's something there. And of course, another great way to watch the podcast or listen to the podcast and see some video clips. It's a lot of fun over there. Meanie, what did I miss? Anything?
No, you did great, man. And like I said, also, just a quick little reminder, Saturday, July 24th, 2021, Legends of Hamburg Arena at the Legends of Hamburg Fieldhouse at the legendary Hamburg Fieldhouse. Go to legendsofhamburg.com.
Definitely go to that. Go meet the Meanie. Meanie has just been sitting there lonely on the other side of the camera, waiting to meet you, Pod Squad. So if you were anywhere in the vicinity, go meet the Blue Meanie. He will be excited, and then I'll be excited when he tells me about how many people he met. So, I think that's it for episode 68 here. Apologies to Al Snow, but we will get you next week. I think that's the best thing to do. Especially,
it's the right thing.
Episode 69, we just heard about you performing, with Head, and
Yeah.
We'll have to get deep into that and see what happened there. But yeah, so I guess we'll see you next week for another trip into the mind of the Meanie.
Blue World Order. The world of MLW radio never stops.